You seem to be someone that kind of dabbles in so many different things. That you're a writer, you act, you're a voice actress. What I find interesting, what kind of came to me was it was an Oscar Wilde quote that I won't be able to remember, but the gist of it was, those who know exactly what they want to do from a young age, and then that's all they do throughout their lives, that's a burden. That's the burden of certainty. Whereas those who have multiple paths put out in front of them and they just pick whatever one they want to go on, and you could pick and change your tracks. That's the privilege of uncertainty. Do you think that's true in your life?
I do think it's really true, and I think it's really nice. And I think you then look back and you think, oh, well, what ties all these things together? So all the things I've always done, the tying together is, and even my glassmaking degree, it was all about telling a story and about finding beauty in detail. I think that's what I've always been trying to do, but with different paths towards it. And I feel like society is becoming more forgiving of artists and people who want to do that, because I have a feeling when I was growing up that people were much more like, no, he's an actor, that's what he does. Why is he painting? This is ridiculous. No one, and now it does feel like there's room for us to wear different hats and to try different things out. There should be, I hope so. Life is long and short at the same time. And so you should try.
I did feel that when I was growing up, that was the done thing, was that a lot of school was putting university on you. It was basically saying you should go to university. And that you should pick your career. You need to know what you're going to do before you've even left high school. You need to know what you're going to do for the rest of your life. You need to get a degree in that field and then just do that for the rest of your life and just keep working up the ladder of corporation or something like that. Whereas it's, to me anyway, I did my degree in journalism, and when I was doing my degree in journalism, I wanted to do music journalism, and then it was for about a year I was doing that, and I found that I was getting bored of that because all the music started to sound the same to me as I was reviewing the music. So then I was like, well, let's move away from that. Then I started getting more into like feature writing, wanting to get my opinion across. Then I got into podcasting. Then I got into like the academic world, and I wanted to learn more. And I always think, like, if I went back to journalism and I was only going to do music journalism, that's not the best option for me. And I think it was the fact that I let all these doors be open and I went through all of them instead of just having the one door and sticking to that. I think it's something that we maybe need to encourage young people to do more, is to let all these doors be open and to have multiple different paths. And you really shouldn't know what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. And I don't think you should ever know what you're going to do for your life. You should always have these options.
Yeah, I mean, like, of course, there are people. A friend of mine wanted to be a doctor from when she was 4, and she's now a doctor, and she loves it. So yeah, there are some people who for that works. But generally, I completely agree with you. And they say, don't they, with teaching, that ideally you don't just teach for 30 years. You go off and do something else for a bit, because it helps for teaching to have been out in the world doing something. Say that, I don't know. But also, I think there are different things that are right for different stages of your life.
Yes. Yeah. I think you should always be. I think if there's something that you've wanted to do from a young age, you should obviously pursue that, but with the added like caveat that you don't have to do that for the rest of your life. Like, you're not committed to it. I think a lot of people think that if they commit to it, like one degree, then that's them for the rest of their lives. And I think they should always have that in their mind, that there is other options out there. And if they've got something that they've wanted to do forever and they enjoy it and they're doing it, then that's really great. But they should always have that other option. And I think it's also more with creative people. It tends to be like that you should have multiple different, because if someone's good at drawing, then they might also be good at something else that's creative, like writing. And I think it works better for creative people to have all these different options.
It ties in really nicely what you're saying with the whole thing we were talking about just before, of the little moments in time that could go in any direction. And being open to that.